Have you ever stood at the edge of a mountain, the sun spilling gold across the horizon, and thought, if only I could capture this moment from the sky, without lugging around a giant, fragile drone or burning a hole in my wallet? That's the dream, isn't it? The freedom to fly, to tell stories from angles our eyes can never reach, to share perspectives that once required Hollywood budgets and big crews. And that dream is exactly why the rumored DJI Neo2 has everyone buzzing. Because if DJI gets this right, we're not just looking at another drone, we're looking at a turning point for creators everywhere in 2025. Think about how far drones have come in the last decade. There was a time when flying one meant reading manuals thicker than your laptop, worrying about losing signal the second you went too far, or bracing yourself to spend thousands just to get footage that looked halfway professional. DJI changed that story. The Phantom made drones mainstream. The Mavic made them fold up and fit in a backpack. The Mini made them so easy, anyone could fly. And yet, there's always been this gap. Too often, you had to choose, either grab a small, entry-level drone that lacked the muscle for real work, or go all in with a huge flagship that was bulky, pricey, and overkill for most creators. Enter the Neo2, or at least, the vision of it. A drone that promises to hit the sweet spot. Portable enough to go anywhere. Strong enough to fly through wind that would ground a toy drone. Smart enough to help you capture cinematic footage without needing hours of editing. And most importantly, affordable enough to make sense for solo YouTubers, travelers, wedding filmmakers, real estate agents, even ambitious hobbyists. It's that middle ground, the space where most of us actually live. Now imagine this, you toss a compact drone into your day bag, no heavy cases, no second thoughts. You hike up a ridge at sunrise, your breath visible in the cold air. You launch in seconds, not minutes. And suddenly, you're capturing footage so stable, so crisp, it looks like something straight out of a movie trailer. That's not just convenience, that's possibility unlocked. That's why this little rumored machine matters so much. Let's talk design first, because design isn't just about looks, it's about how you actually live with a drone. Leaks suggest the Neo2 might have a foldable body like the Mavic line, but cleaner, lighter, and more refined. Some whispers even talk about a carbon composite frame, which is a game changer if true. Imagine a drone that feels feather-light in your hands, yet resists wind and weather with the grit of something twice its size. For creators, that's not a minor detail, it's survival. You're not always filming in perfect conditions. You're shooting on windy rooftops, sandy beaches, dusty trails, or in the middle of a wedding where you've got one chance to nail the shot. A drone that folds small, packs light, and stands firm under pressure? That's a drone you'll actually use, not one that gathers dust on a shelf. And it's not just about the frame. Portability creates spontaneity. Think about it, how many times have you told yourself, I'll bring the drone next time? Then the light fades, the skyline shifts, the waves crash, and the moment's gone forever. With the Neo2, portability means fewer missed moments. You're always ready. You fly now, not later. And those spur-of-the-moment flights? They're often where the magic happens. But all the design in the world doesn't matter if the build can't handle real-world stress. That's where stability comes in. Mid-range drones often wobble, shudder, or get bullied by strong winds. DJI seems to know this, and the Neo2 is rumored to prioritize stability in ways we haven't seen at this tier. Think tighter arm locks, a low drag profile, propellers tuned for quiet but powerful thrust. Motors and controllers that respond smoothly at slow speeds for cinematic pans, but kick into gear when you need to climb fast or pivot sharply. That mix, the calm and the power, creates something far more valuable than specs. It creates confidence. The confidence to fly close to your subject without fear. The confidence to take risks with your shots and trust the machine to back you up. And then we get to the heart of it all, the camera. Because let's be honest, no matter how sleek or stable the drone is, if the footage doesn't look professional, it's all for nothing. The buzz points to a 1-inch sensor. That's huge at this level. It means richer detail, cleaner low-light performance, smoother roll-off in bright skies. We're talking stills around the 20-megapixel range, video up to 5.4K, and crisp 4K at high frame rates. Translation? You've got room to crop, room to stabilize in post, room to slow things down without your footage turning into mush. But resolution isn't what makes footage cinematic. Control is. That's where we expect the Neo2 to shine, adjustable aperture for dialing in depth and exposure, 10-bit color profiles like DLOG and HLG for grading, HDR for those tricky sky and shadow shots, and smarter autofocus that doesn't lose its subject when life gets messy, like when branches sway across your frame or people walk through the shot. When those tools click together, your footage looks finished straight out of the camera. No endless hours in post-production. Just ready-to-use cinematic visuals. Of course, none of this matters if your drone dies after 20 minutes in the air. Flight time is the other pillar, and the number floating around is 40 minutes per battery. Let that sink in. 40 minutes. That changes everything. You're no longer racing the clock, praying you don't run out of juice before you get the shot. You've got time to frame carefully, to try multiple takes, to wait for the right wave or the perfect break in traffic. For wedding shooters, that's priceless. You can't pause a ceremony just because your drone needs a new battery. For travelers, it means you can hike to a cliffside, wait for the light, and still know you'll get home with something special. 40 minutes gives you breathing room, and that's creative freedom. Now, performance isn't just about endurance. It's also about speed and responsiveness. Reports hint at stronger propulsion, higher top speeds, the ability to keep up with cyclists, surfers, or cars without breaking a sweat. But here's the thing, speed means nothing if the drone feels twitchy. If DJI balances speed with calm, predictable control, paired with quiet props so you're not drawing a crowd everywhere you fly, the Neo2 could be just as good for high-action shots as it is for slow, cinematic reveals. Connectivity is another piece we can't ignore. Every creator knows that syncing feeling when your signal drops mid-flight. Rumors point to a next-gen OcuSync link with longer range, cleaner video, and lower latency. But more importantly, reliability, even in crowded, signal-heavy environments like cities, events, or festivals. Add Wi-Fi and Bluetooth for quick transfers, smart pairing, maybe even live streaming capabilities, and suddenly you're not just holding a flying camera. You're holding a mobile broadcast station. Imagine finishing a sequence and sending a proxy to your editor instantly. Imagine streaming live from above a marathon, a concert, or a political rally with buttery smooth feed. That's not just tech, that's power in the hands of creators.